And he doesn't think I'm a failure.
No.
He didn't create me to be a failure. I failed a bunch of times, but I will never claim that as my identity.
No.
That is not who I am, and that is not who you are, no matter what you're going through. No matter if in 5 days you absolutely blow your life up. You're not a failure. You're not a failure. Don't claim that as your identity. Welcome to the I Am Mother of the Year podcast, where we equip and encourage moms just like you to move from isolation, fear, comparison, and chaos to community, compassion, peace, and freedom. We're so glad you're here. Hey, I'm Lisa.
And I'm Jen, and this is the I Am Mother of the Year podcast.
And what's the craziest thing that fear has ever made you do?
Fear, man, it make you do some crazy stuff.
Crazy. And everybody, until you really get to know fear, you're like, fear? I don't have fear.
No, I'm not afraid.
Yeah, you are, and yeah, you do. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. So we're just gonna jump in to one of the most ridiculous things that fear has ever made me do.
Okay.
2019, New Year's Day.
Yeah.
Okay, so I had spent a couple weeks like leading up to that, writing all these goals out and resolutions and whatever, which is not me. I am not a resolution girl. Like, I don't like them because I can't do them. Like, why set yourself up for failure?
Right.
Whatever December 2018 was like, oh yeah, we're gonna set you up for failure, girl. And I said, oh, okay, great.
Sure. Let's just pile on the guilt and the shame.
Oh yeah, if you could start fresh like that, oh for sure. Winning combo. And so I had all of these goals. And so literally like 8 a.m., I'm up like groggy from the night before, staying
you were at my house,
till
right?
midnight. Yeah.
Yes.
I was at your house. We stayed up too late because I like to go to bed at 9. And so I'm up and literally I'm laying in bed kind of coming to going, it's 2019. Now it's on. It's game time.
New you.
Yeah, right, exactly. And I'm like, oh yeah, Ryan and I are gonna run a half marathon. Oh my gosh, okay, we're gonna do that. I have a million ideas to make Mother of the Year the best thing that's ever lived. And I have all the, I'm gonna eat fruits and vegetables. What a concept.
All day, every day.
All day, right, all of this stuff. And I'm like, oh yeah, goals. By the time my first foot hit the carpet, I was a total psycho, going, nope, you're already failing. You better lace up your running shoes right now. Lace them up, go run 13.1 miles.
Or get back in bed.
Get to the store right now. Hello, do you even have any vegetables in the house?
Oh my God.
Right?
Those carrots aren't gonna buy themselves. I do.
Right.
No.
That is what it was like. It was like I woke up 2019 with a gun to the back of my head.
Already behind,
already failing, already wrapped up in this fear of going, you're gonna fail. That's all you do is fail. This is why you don't do New Year's resolutions, because you're a failure already.
This is 8 a.m. on January 1st.
January 1st. You know I like to start fresh, just with love and kindness, compassion.
Positive self-talk.
For myself and others, yeah, that's how it goes.
Gosh.
Could not. And so, in my rational thinking, I thought, you know what? I'm gonna win at something, and I'm gonna win at something easy. You know what I'm gonna do? It's been long overdue. I haven't done a box hair dye in such a long time. It's time. I'm gonna go in my sweats and slippers. No makeup on, which we know from a previous episode is a non-starter for me. We don't do this. I go to the grocery store on New Year's Day in my slippers.
Your fruits and vegetables,
Totally bypassed fruits and vegetables.
Because you've already failed in your brain, even though, you combine them and eat them and it's okay.
Just light them on fire. It's fine. Go to the hair dye section, buy medium brown.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to play it safe.
Sure.
But we're going to do medium brown.
What color was your hair?
I don't remember.
All right.
It's been so many things, right? It's in my emotional response to life is, and just dye your hair. What a good idea. But this was the moment. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go. So one thing led to another. New Year's Day, couldn't pull it off.
Okay.
January 2nd, Okay, I'm like, I've got 30 minutes. I'm going to die this bad boy. Woo, woo, woo.
Yeah.
Watch.
Can't control that. Or I feel like a failure. Here we go. Watch me do this.
Watch me win 2019. Come on now.
Comeback time one day in.
And so this is a rare thing. I'm so glad we did this. Back in 2019, I was part of a radio show called Radio Theology. Pastor Darren Earlywine, Ryan Allward, the three of us were on a radio show, and on January 3rd, we recorded our radio show. And so
brand new hair.
With my brand new hair, except my hair looked crazy. And so I put it up in a tight bun, and I'm like, I'm gonna surprise them. We're gonna go, we're gonna hit record, and we're gonna video this and whatever. And so this is the moment you're about to see. It's not great footage because it is across the room, but this is me showing the boys and the world my hair and what fear makes you do.
Your hair is reddish, pinkish, red. What?
Because I thought, today is the day. I am making a change in 2019. This is the face of fear, people. Why? What is wrong with me?
That's a pretty drastic change there.
This is my new life now.
Wow.
This is how 2019 is for me.
Oh my God.
Right? What is happening in my life? Okay, right.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
It's like pink.
Medium brown. Medium brown.
False advertising.
Right. 2019. And that was literally like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? What are you doing with your whole life? What are you doing?
Oh my gosh.
Golly. So
fear made you do something crazy.
Fear made me do it.
Made you look a little crazy for a short time.
Oh, like the craziest version of some weird female joker. Like, so bad. But it's like, so that's the craziest, most ridiculous. Fear has made me do so many things that have a lot heavier consequences than having to call in Megan Mellinger and say, fix my hair.
She's
fix it. Do you
know
have
if
6
I
hours and $1 million? Yes, I do. And so there we go. We fixed it all as well. But fear, oh my gosh.
It can give you some extreme outcomes.
Oh yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yes. Really
anxious.
Completely paralyzation.
Yes.
All of this stuff. What about you? What's the craziest thing that fear has ever made you do?
Paralyzed. You just said being paralyzation. Fear can keep you stuck.
Yeah.
And that's what fear did to me. To on a serious note, to go a little heavier.
Yes, it's a hard transition.
Yes.
Okay, we're from crazy mania Lisa to
paralyzing fear.
But it's true.
But that's what fear does. I mean, it comes in so many different forms and it makes
all
us
over
do
the board.
Crazy things. So the craziest thing, I think, if I was to take that question very literally, the most severe, extreme thing that fear's ever made me do is stay stuck in an abusive marriage. I mean, we've talked about it here and there, and I don't want to just keep harping on it, but I think fear really was the driving force there. It kept me stuck in an abusive relationship. And if you've ever been in that seat, first of all, I'm so sorry, but second, I think you know what I'm talking about. Fear of, well, how would I get out? And what would that look like? And where would I go? And when? And so many questions, so many unknowns, and fear of starting over and having a lack of imagination for your future. Fear, just kept me under
the thumb.
Stuck for a long time.
For a long time. Way too long.
Yeah. And we talk about it a lot. Fear is a liar.
Right.
Fear is deceptive. And you don't have to choose fear. That's what's so empowering is fear is a choice.
Yes. Fear will happen to you, but you don't have to be its victim.
No, you don't have to lean into it and subscribe to that.
Right.
You can reject fear.
Yeah.
You can go, you know what? I'm going to choose to see the light, and I'm going to choose control, and I'm going to choose the powerful other outcome to see the truth in this situation, because fear is nothing but a liar. So with your hair, with the New Year's, with my situation, like
Right.
both of us were believing lies.
Yeah, and that's the important thing is we talk about this all the time because it's so important. There are so many voices in your head vying for your attention. They want you to choose me. And fear has a million different voices in your head. It has the advantage because the voice of truth, the voice of God, the voice of the Holy Spirit is a small, quiet, gentle whisper. He will not force you to choose.
He's not gonna shout and scream.
Not to hear, like you have to hone in on that voice.
Yeah.
And that is, we've talked about it, we've said it a lot, like that literally will be another podcast coming up in the very near future because it's so important to get to know the still small voice and what that sounds like and what he says, because what he says is true.
Yeah.
And so in the midst of 40 different ways that fear shows up and tells you all of these different things, hits you from every possible angle, knows your weaknesses so that he can shoot flaming arrow in there and mess you all up, distract you, lead you into despair, hopelessness, all of that stuff.
Yeah. That's Satan. Like, let's
That's
just
Satan.
name it. Like,
We'll just name fear the enemy,
yes.
Satan.
Like,
devil.
The devil is the father of lies, and fear is a liar. It's like so many times it can just be synonymous. Like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and God is never, ever, it's not within his character at all
No.
to cause fear, to stir up confusion. And that's why it's important to get to know him, get to know what's true about you, what he says about you, what he says about himself, and then to know and believe and live that out.
Yeah.
Like what's true about you will help you discover the voices and then learn to tune out the voices of fear.
Say, that's a lie.
Yeah, just stop them in their tracks.
Yeah.
Like they're not going to be like, okay, see ya. They're going to keep coming. It's
try again.
unrelenting.
Yes.
But when you can hone in and grab tight, like the voice of truth. So like for me, I'm believing the lie of you are already a failure.
At 8 a.m., January 1st. That kills me.
Literally like 8 minutes into my waking hours of the new year, 8 minutes in, I have already failed for the entire year. Let's call it quits. I'm donezo. Right? Just 2019's a wrap. Little did we know that 2020 was coming, okay?
Yes.
That's a whole
Oh
other
my
story.
gosh.
Right? But 2019,
Yeah.
that's how I started. Feeling like a failure, believing that like I am destined to fail. So why try? Just do something crazy that you think you need to control. Like, did that work out for me? Let's all say it together. No. Right? No. But the truth is that God is not in a hurry. He's not the one with a gun to the back of my head forcing me out of bed and forcing me 13.1 miles on the road and forcing me into creating all of these things to support you as a mom. No, God has just this wonderful cadence, just still and restful and peaceful and he just calls and equips and takes one step at a time and it's not rushed. He's not in a hurry.
No.
And he doesn't think I'm a failure.
No.
He didn't create me to be a failure. I failed a bunch of times, but I will never claim that as my identity.
No.
That is not who I am, and that is not who you are, no matter what you're going through. No matter if in 5 days you absolutely blow your life up. You're not a failure. You're not a failure. Don't claim that as your identity. Just because you fail doesn't mean you're a failure. But the truth is that like God just keeps showing up and just going, here, we're going this way, sweetheart. Hey, I got you.
Yeah. What if in those moments you could say, God, I feel like a failure. I feel like I failed. And he might go, yeah, you did.
You did.
You're not a failure, but you did fail. And I forgive you. Like, what if he said, man, I'm sorry about that. Like, can you help me through this now?
Totally.
He loves you unconditionally. He doesn't think you're a failure. He thinks that you are a masterpiece because that is how he created you, to do good works in advance that he planned for you long ago. So I'm like, okay, if you fail, then just claim it, name it. I mean, not as your identity, but say this happened, and I'm going to ask for forgiveness, and he'll meet you there, and he'll offer unconditional forgiveness as well. There's nothing you could do that would separate you from his love. And
Right.
so he'll come alongside you and go, all right, what should we do now? Let's go.
Can we
do
try?
that
You want to try that again?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I don't know if I can. Yeah, you can. I can help you. Yeah. What about you? What about your lie?
Oh, and the being stuck.
Oh, the being stuck. The
Yeah.
thing you're telling yourself.
Yeah, I
the
think
fear.
the lie is that I was stuck. The lie was that you're
Oh.
stuck in this and there is no way out. And you have to just be numb through life now and just suffer through for the rest of your life.
Yeah, like this is a punishment.
Yes.
I'm stuck here.
You're living a life sentence now. And you're everywhere you turn, like, I'm like, well, maybe I could do this. No, that was a dead end. Maybe I could do that. No, that was a dead end too. So the fear was that you're stuck and you're never gonna get out. This is the rest of your life.
Boo. I
And
don't
so-
like that.
No, because it kept me there that's crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy that when you believe fear, it will keep you under its wraps. It will keep you right where you are, believing lies.
Yeah.
In the darkness. It's so dark.
Yeah.
And you're like, was that a little glimmer of light? Nope.
No!
Yeah.
Hammer down.
Yeah.
Right. So what was the truth? Like, how did you, like, we share your whole story.
Yeah.
And so we've got a Facebook Live that we did, and so we'll post that in the show notes and in the comments and everything like that. But so you can watch that and hear Jen's whole story. It's incredible. It's so beautiful. But like, what's the truth?
Yeah.
Like, I'm stuck. I'm serving a life sentence to what?
So I had light bearers come into my life in the form of like intervention.
Okay.
And it was like in my darkness, they were like carrying candles and they're like, "Psst, come here.
Yeah.
What if we told you there was a way out into the lightness
Ooh.
and that you don't have to be stuck anymore?" And I'm like, but I'm picturing myself like fetal position on the ground, like, no, I'm stuck. I can't leave. That's
Right.
what fear said. I can't go with you. And they're like, no, come here.
Yeah.
Follow me.
You can.
And so they took my hand and the candle and they led me through the darkness. And then all of a sudden, after 2 days, I came to and it was like a bright, sunny, sunshiny day outside. And I was like,
Oh.
I'm out. I'm free. And so then it took 6 weeks of getting used to living in the light.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. Is it part of fear for me is like the fear of returning to the place that fear had me, like feeling crazy like that? I'm scared of going back there always. I'm scared of slapping a big fat failure sign on my forehead and believing that's true. Like, does that happen for you too? Like, no. What? She's amazing.
No,
Are you kidding me?
kidding me? Or I'm not in tune with my emotions.
So,
I don't.
okay, this was a curveball. I did not. I was like, yeah, she's
You're like,
she's
yeah,
gonna
just
agree
give
with
me a-
me. Yep,
yeah,
yep.
no.
You're not alone, Lisa.
Feel her fear of
But you don't-
returning back and like, no, I'm past that. We're moving on. I'm marching on to the next thing.
Because you are so black and white.
Yes.
Very.
Past is in the past, moving on.
I'm not.
Live in the gray and the.
I just swim in the gray freely, and it's lovely in the gray.
Yes.
Okay, so you're like, no, I'm never going back there. I'm in the light now. I'm not going back to the dark. Are you kidding me?
Well, because it's all a journey, so I'm like, you're gonna take a twist and a turn and a right and a left, and like we might have to go in a cave for a little bit, but then I'm gonna pop by on the other side. Let's try not to do that again. And oh, there's clouds coming. Okay, and I'm like just progressing and advancing on the journey, taking it as it comes. But I'm not like, oh no, I'm gonna get sucked back into the same cave. I'm like, nope, that's old news.
Wow.
I know,
How
as you were
freeing
talking,
is that?
because I was thinking like, how awful that you have to constantly worry about getting pulled back in. No, you are free now. God is walking with you. Boom, let's do this.
Dang.
Maybe it's just ignorance. I'm like marching on my little trail.
You guys, what's happening here? I'm having a real moment. I need to just hold on. We need to let this breathe.
Okay. We are opposites.
I know we're opposites, yes. That's true. And now it's proven. And this is why you're here
Okay.
with me, for me, with you,
Speak
for you.
to- yes.
Yeah.
other half.
What? I'm just trying to open my imagination to it because I don't know how to live like that right now. But what if, like, what would it actually look like to come out of a dark season and be like, no, I don't ever have to go back there. I don't have to be
No.
scared of going back there anymore.
You don't have to. That's the truth.
It's my mind's going, does not compute, does not compute. Like, I'm
Malfunction.
literally like, here,
Malfunction.
let's connect. I can feel
See,
I
you know
can
she's a
feel
feeler when
my brain going,
synapses
we're
are triangle pulsing. If she passes out,
We're gonna get there.
She's overheated, and we'll bring her back after
Yes.
this commercial
Oh
break.
my gosh. Wow, okay. I hope that blew your mind. And I also hope it didn't. I hope you live more like Jen than you do like me in this present moment.
No, that's okay.
Just receive that as a
Okay,
wonderful
thank
compliment.
you.
Yes. Somewhere in the Bible, it is for freedom that Christ has set you free.
Yes.
Do not be burdened yet again with the yoke of slavery.
Ah.
Right? That's what that means.
Yes.
And you're like, done, check. And I'm like, okay, I won't be burdened. Okay, please don't put the yoke back on.
No, he says, take my yoke because it's light. Share with me. You
With the
want
Bible.
rest? Come to me.
Okay.
I love that.
Okay. These are good action steps.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, this took a turn that I don't think I
This
can
is not
recover
on
from.
here.
It's not on the clipboard, which I love.
Yeah.
And you hate, so that's why you picked the clipboard back up.
Yes.
And we're going back to the clipboard
Ready?
now.
Lies and
And
truth are important. Also, I want to do a quick little PSA about resolutions because she started by saying, like, I don't do resolutions. This isn't me. I just want to say, because I feel like it's a thing around this time, like New Year's, it's like this test of like, do you have a New Year's resolution? And I'm like, no. They're like, oh, you don't do those? No. So I just want to be clear that this podcast is not, we're not shooting on you. We're not judging you, whether you do them or whether you don't, because Clipboard says resolutions are not won or lost in a single moment or even in a day. Resolutions, like all good, important things, are a continuous battle worth fighting for. And that actually kind of segues, surprisingly well, from the battle that we just talked about. That
Right.
like, no, you don't have to be in that tension. You
Right.
can choose truth and to believe it and to say, fear, you're a liar and I will not choose you.
Exactly, which is the other point. Like, fear is your enemy. That is true. Can we join together and link
Yeah.
arms? Because I'm feeling kind of crazy right now. You might be able to see it in my eyes. I feel like if I was a cartoon, I'd be like,
Brain's doing this.
yeah. There's a lot happening in this general region right here, but nothing more important than me telling you, fear is your enemy, and you need to treat it as such. Don't make friends with your enemy. Don't take time with your enemy. Goodbye, enemy.
Yes,
I don't have
I'm not
time
gonna
for
listen
you.
to you.
I'm not going to entertain you.
No.
You're not welcome in my home. You're not welcome in my head.
In fact, I'm going to fight against you.
Yes.
Combat fear
Boom.
with truth.
Do it with the truth.
Okay, the next point is the journey is usually
Black
more-
and white. Sorry, go ahead. Say that again.
The journey is usually more important than the destination.
Yes.
So true.
Yes. The journey helps refine you.
Right. Yeah, like the end goal is to defeat fear, but like what's going to happen with your twists and turns along the way?
Right.
You're going to be refined in the process.
Right.
You're going to learn and grow and be better.
And live.
Yeah.
You're going to live. You're going to live. And then the final reminder is it's not about perfection. No. Right.
So done with perfection. It's
Right.
exhausting.
It does not
It
exist.
doesn't exist.
It's an illusion.
It is.
And like
Only
fear.
Jesus was perfect.
Exactly. And like fear, we're going to be like, bye. We
Yeah.
don't have time.
No. Strive, 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 strive. Fail, 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 fail.
No. Let's not.
No. Okay. So, when talking about resolutions, I mean, we've already talked about this important battle of
Yeah.
what we're choosing to believe. I think another important thing is to just commit to like loving well
Yeah.
ourselves and others.
Exactly.
What would that look like? How would we love well?
I'm going to go ahead and say compassion.
Compassion's always a good choice.
Like getting curious with yourself, asking yourself lots of good questions,
Yeah.
asking other people lots of good questions so that we can bring fear out into the light. And
Yeah.
like, what if we just asked and then if somebody said, hey, what's going on with you? You know what, I'm feeling a little crazy right now. I think I might be scared that da-da-da-da. Like, what would happen if you said that?
Oh my gosh.
So many people just don't, and I want to encourage you, just say it.
Can I
Say it. You're never alone in it.
No. Okay. Perfect transition. Can I just say really fast, not to make this all about abuse, but I did some research recently about the word isolation and how it pertains to abuse. And you just said you're not alone.
Yeah.
Okay, do you know, I just found this out, that the success of abuse is directly contingent upon the level of isolation.
Oh.
Meaning, your abuser, I'm getting like fired up right now. Your abuser cannot control you if you're not very isolated. Also, on the other side, if you feel and believe and are physically and emotionally and mentally and spiritually all alone, then you are like almost 100% under the abuser's power and control. And the reason that is so directly dependent on each other is because when no one else is speaking truth into your life, meaning that you are isolated, you're taking the abuser's word as law. Like that is all you're being pelted with and beaten down with every single day, all day, every day, right? So you believe that, and it starts to brainwash you, literally. You start believing it, and then you are just a pile of mush on the floor. Where what you just said, like, say it, bring it to the light, and allow other healthy voices to speak truth and life into you, all of a sudden, you're gonna hear health and go, well, that's not right, abuser. What you're saying to me is not. It calls a spade a spade. That's not healthy and that's not true. And that sounds like you're trying to put fear into me. Like, all of a sudden, they can't control you anymore. So that's really important. That, like, whether you're stuck in a relationship or just stuck in a job, if you're feeling like I'm alone and I'm under the control and under the thumb of fear, say something and allow other people to speak into your life to go, no, you need to get out of that job. You need to pick a new career. Let's work together. I mean, there's just so much health that can come in community like that.
Right, exactly. Yes. So, and we're going to talk about that in a coming episode because, it doesn't have to be an abusive marriage. It is like when we feel stuck, we feel and only hear the voice of fear, the voice of the devil, the voice of the accuser. And so we're going to talk about that in an episode coming up. But I'm so glad you said all of that, because if you are stuck in any type of abusive marriage or relationship, get out. Tell someone. And we can post all the links and the resources and everything like that too. But we need to wrap up for today and just know, oh my gosh, let's do it this year together. Let's link arms, let's fight together. And then let's live peacefully and choose love and grace and compassion for one another and for ourselves. And in case no one else tells you today, we want you to know that you are a really good mom. Thanks for listening to the I Am Mother of the Year podcast with Lisa and Jen. If you love what you hear and want insider access to more conversations just like these, exclusive Mother of the Year merch, and access to the I Am Mother of the Year podcast one day early, join the growing community of patrons who support our movement at patreon.com/I Am Mother of the Year. Talk to you next week.